Welcome to this tutorial on how to navigate through the chapter. Anytime you are unsure about navigation through a chapter, you can come back and watch this tutorial. You should have already watched the video on the previous page explaining how you can learn from this topic. And here we will focus specifically on the navigation functions. As soon as you enter a chapter, you will be taken to the start page, and you can always navigate back to the start page. At the bottom of the page, you will find a line of purple navigation buttons. Click on the button you want to navigate away from the page. You will also notice a lesson menu on the left-hand side of the screen. You may also use this menu to navigate to a section in the chapter. Sometimes the content will appear like this, often with links to further information. If you click on the link, it will open the page in a new tab or window. When you are finished, you can simply exit the tab or page. The original page from the course should still be open. Sometimes the content will look like this. You can work through this information and follow the instructions in blue. Click Next to move on to a new slide. When you have finished and want to navigate away from the page, use the purple buttons at the bottom of the screen. You will always have the option to navigate back to the start page, answer the question or questions, or move on to read the next section of information. Click here to start answering the questions. Once you have answered the question, submit your answer. You will learn if you answered the question correctly or not. As you can see, I got it wrong. Now I have a choice to make. Do I want to try answering the question again? Or do I want to go back and look at the information relevant to the question first? I will try again. Yes, this time I got it right. Now my choices are to move on to the information in the next section or go directly to the next question. My choice will probably depend on how familiar I am with the information. If I feel like I already know about this pretty well, I may choose to answer the question, but if I don't know much about it, time to learn. You will notice that as you answer the questions, the chapter keeps score on how you are doing. Remember, you have to answer the questions to move on to the next chapter. It will tell you how many questions you have answered and how many points you have scored. Here is an important point to be aware of. If you leave the chapter and come back to it at a later date, you'll be shown this screen. Do you want to start at the last page you saw? Answer yes. If you click no, all of the scores you collected before will be lost. Of course, if you want to try the questions in the chapter again to get a better score, then by all means click no. Remember that this is very important. If you leave the chapter and you come back to the chapter, and you don't want to lose all the questions and points you've scored so far, click yes. However, once you have completed the chapter, you may go back in as often as you like without penalty. Remember, if you need to know whether you have completed a chapter or not, look at your progress. If the box is checked, you've completed the chapter. When you have finished with the chapter, you will be taken to the end of chapter page. Before you move on to the next chapter, you may wish to go back and try the questions again, or review something specific. The review button will take you back to that page, and End of Chapter in the Lesson menu will bring you back to the End of Chapter page. When you are sure you are ready to move on, click Leave Chapter 1. Then, go to the next chapter, or go back to the main topic page.